Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
These days, very few vehicles have a manual transmission. But if your car is one of the few to do so, you can expect its clutch to eventually wear out. Like brake pads, a clutch is considered a wear item, meaning it's not designed to last the life of the vehicle. When your car's clutch starts to wear out or fail prematurely, you may start to notice symptoms, such as clutch slippage. What is clutch slippage? From left to right, clutch release bearing, pressure plate, friction disc, and flywheel. To understand clutch slippage, you first need to know how a manual transmission clutch works. A typical manual transmission clutch assembly comprises four main components: the flywheel, friction disc, pressure plate, and release bearing. When the clutch pedal is depressed, the release bearing moves the pressure plate away from the friction disc, causing the friction disc to disengage from the flywheel. In this state, the motor is disconnected from the transmission and the rotational force cannot be sent to the drive wheels. On the other hand, when the clutch pedal is released, foot off pedal, the pressure plate keeps the friction disc pressed against the flywheel. In this state, the motor is connected to the transmission and the rotational force can be transferred to the drive wheels. The video below shows how the clutch works. So, what is clutch slip? Clutch slippage occurs when the friction disc is not held firmly against the flywheel when it should be. When the friction disc slips, the flow of power between the engine and transmission is interrupted. Although slipping is usually the result of a worn friction disc, other possibilities include insufficient clutch pedal free play, a weak pressure plate, and oil-contaminated contact surfaces. Signs of a slipping clutch. If your car's clutch is slipping, the symptoms will be fairly obvious. Clutch slippage leads to an increase in engine speed without a corresponding increase in vehicle speed. When driving, you'll notice that the engine revs up, but the car doesn't go any faster. This is because the slipping clutch disturbs the flow of power between the engine and the transmission. How to check a slipping clutch? Do you think your car's clutch might be slipping? You can check for slipping as follows: apply the vehicle's parking brake and chock the drive wheels. Put the transmission in high gear. Slightly increase engine speed. Slowly release the clutch pedal. The engine should stall immediately once the clutch pedal is released. If the engine continues to run, even momentarily, or slows down and continues to run, the clutch is slipping. How much does it cost to repair a slipping clutch? If a worn clutch is to blame, you can usually expect to pay between €1,000 and €2,500 for a professional to replace the clutch. The cost of repairing a slipping clutch will depend on a number of factors, including the cause of the slipping in the first place. If a worn clutch is to blame, you can generally expect to pay between €1,000 and €2,500 for a professional to replace the clutch. Of course, the exact cost will depend on the type of vehicle you own and other variables. Can I replace a clutch myself? You can save money by replacing the clutch assembly yourself if you have the tools and know-how. Car parts. Com offers a wide variety of replacement clutches available for different makes and models. Bear in mind, however, that replacing a clutch is not an easy repair to make. The job begins by removing the transmission assembly, a complicated and labor-intensive task. Unless you have the necessary equipment and confidence in your auto repair skills, clutch replacement is a job best left to a professional. How do I repair a slipping clutch? To repair a slipping clutch, you, or your mechanic, must first determine the cause of the slipping in the first place. As mentioned, clutch slippage can be caused by excessive free play in the clutch pedal, fluid-contaminated contact surfaces, a worn friction disc, or a weak pressure plate. Once you've determined the cause of the problem, you can carry out the necessary repairs to fix the vehicle. Usually, but not always, the solution will be to replace the clutch assembly. In conclusion, recognizing the symptoms of a slipping clutch early can save you both time and money. If you notice issues like difficulty shifting gears, a burning smell, or a high-revving engine without acceleration, it's crucial to address them promptly. Replacement costs can vary significantly, typically ranging from several hundred to over $1,000, depending on your vehicle's make and model. While some may choose to tackle repairs themselves, enlisting a professional mechanic can ensure the job is done correctly. By staying informed and proactive, you can maintain your vehicle's performance and extend its lifespan. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.